first guests tonight are Tony-nominated actors who originated the roles Elder Cunningham and Elder Price in the Book of Mormon, which went on to become the Tony and Grammy-winning hit that is now one of the longest-running musicals in Broadway history. This week, they're returning to the show for Magical Mormon Mystery Week, which runs through June 14th at the Eugene O'Neill Theater. Please welcome back to the show two of our favorites, Josh Gad and Andrew Rannells, everybody.
No. I got specific instructions that I was to sit closest to you.
I was told the same thing.
Yeah, we do. We like to pit people against each other backstage.
It's ferocious.
We love to pit people against each other.
You like a fight.
Gentlemen, you were at the Tonys last night.
Yes.
Bravo. Performing at the Tonys.
You did the Tonys, the gay Super Bowl.
It was the gay, and it was a real gay Super Bowl last night. It was really.
It was a full. Packed.
It was
You
wonderful.
can say, I can't get away with saying that.
Yeah.
If I said it's a gay Super Bowl, everybody, how dare you? But you can say that.
Yeah.
Because I'm gay, so that's fine. No, we had a great time. It was super fun. I don't know if you feel the same way, but we were, we've been rehearsing the show. It's been very overwhelming to get to rehearse this material again, and then here we are doing it on the Tonys, and the adrenaline kicked in, and I felt like, I'm 19 and I can sing forever. And then this morning I woke up and sounded like Lauren Bacall and was like, oh, I guess I'm
I felt slightly differently. I went out there and I was like, oh my God, I'm 45. I shouldn't be doing this.
Well, this is something I want to ask because you're coming back to a show that I would imagine, again, you did it so many times, you must know it backwards and forwards, but the human body ages.
Yeah, that is science.
Yeah.
That is science.
In terms of the aging process,
Or just how it's affecting your Book of Mormon performance.
it did not come back naturally at all.
Really?
So everybody assumes that it's still there because what do we do? You did 400 performances. I did about 250.
Yeah, Josh called out a lot.
A lot of colds, a lot of head colds.
Colby got tired very easily.
He was pretty sick.
But here's the way I would describe it. At first, you're like, wait, I did this? And then you do it twice, and all of a sudden, it's muscle memory, and everything starts coming back. But there are these new lines that Trey and Matt have added since we left, and those are a foreign antibody when you're something short circuits. You're I didn't say this thing.
They made little changes.
Also, it's not, if you guys are back, it's not the entire original cast, so it's a lot of, you're out there with a lot of youngsters.
Well, both.
Yeah, okay, it's a combo of both.
Yes, we do have most of the original cast.
Okay,
back
great.
For this week, but we do have to perform alongside 23-year-olds.
Right.
So that is tricky.
Yeah.
Because the guy who plays Kevin Clay, who plays Elder Price right now, he technically could be my son.
The one who plays Cunningham technically could be my grandson.
He sort of looks like what belongs inside of Josh's nesting doll. It's just a tiny version of Josh.
Why do I have a nesting doll?
I don't know.
What was last night? Obviously, now the Tonys are old hat for you guys. What was your first Tony experience?
My first Tony experience was
it for Book of Mormon?
Was for Book of Mormon.
Great.
We went.
We lost.
We lost. It was an incredible night. And
Well, we did it together, kiddo.
But we
By
lost
the way,
together.
We did it together.
Yes.
But if
we won the show one, and that's
The show
all that
one.
matters.
Yeah.
And everybody would have assumed, had you not say it, had you not said it, we all would have assumed you won.
Can we cut that part
Yeah.
out?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Great,
good.
thank you.
But what was the after party like?
That after party was pretty. There's one memory that I have that's very specific. For some reason, in a throne, I walked in and I just saw Al Pacino, the actor, sitting, and he was waiting for people to give him their sort of bow and reference.
Like the Pope.
Yes, like the Pope. So people would walk in one by one, and he'd look at you and go, hey. And you'd be like, I'm Josh, and he's like, I'm Al. And that was
and you shook his hand.
It was a very surreal, weird thing.
It was when he was going through his bandana phase.
Yes.
Oh, right.
So he looked like Steve Van Zandt.
Yeah.
And he had
Yes.
yeah.
What a
I'm not even sure
It was pretty
he
wild.
knew it was a Tony party. We may have just been his house.
Well, wasn't your first Tony party? You actually ended up not at a Tony party?
Yes, yes. So when I was doing Hairspray, it was my first Broadway show, and they sell tickets to the Tony Awards. You could just like buy a ticket, and I thought, well, that'll be fun to do. So with some friends from the show, we went, and one of our cast members was like, we should just like crash a Tony party. That's because there was like parties all over the place, right? So I was like, okay. So we wander into this event and we like take some champagne and we're just like standing around. But I was like, it's weird that we don't recognize anyone. Like there should be more Broadway people here. And then we saw a woman in a wedding dress. It was a wedding reception.
You walked into a wedding reception.
Yeah. Yeah, but who has their wedding reception in Rockefeller on Tony Sunday?
You make an excellent
You know
point,
what I'm
Andrew.
saying?
You make an excellent.
Like,
At first, I was on her side, but you
No,
make an excellent point.
I win.
You guys were also you were at the Tonys in 2024 for Gutenberg. You guys were back on stage.
Yes.
Now, 2024, Josh and Andrew, you're not going to the wrong after parties. You guys know your way around.
Yeah, I went to something called Bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great party.
Didn't you have to drive like to Canada that night? Wasn't
Yes,
that?
yes, I did.
Josh got
I was
directly
shooting
into
a
car.
movie.
Okay.
Brag.
When we did, sort of, yes. When we were doing the Tonys, I came in that day and then left that night. I forgot about that.
You drove back immediately.
Yes.
But that was a fun night. We didn't get to perform, but we did get to present.
That's
So
fun.
that was
and
very
that must
nice.
be, I mean, again, you're performers. It must be exciting and thrilling to perform like you did last night, but it must be nice to go into a night where you also know you don't have to do the whole.
Yeah. We didn't have to do anything
yes.
hard. We just got to speak.
Although I was shockingly not nervous last night.
You seem nervous.
Thank you. I was during the rehearsal. I got very nervous. But then when we went out, it was like, because we had nothing to lose except our self-esteem.
Yeah.
There was
Our careers.
and our careers.
But you do, and it's all lit, so you can see like the entire
Everybody.
audience. And I found myself very inappropriately, like I went out on stage and I saw this friend of mine, Kelly O'Hara, who's nominated last night. She's so great.
Yeah.
And I went out on stage and I sang a little bit, and then I saw Kelly and I went, on stage.
But that's great. That's that's when you know you've made it. When you're just like saying hi during a Tony performance.
They're coming for my equity card.
Oh,
today.
okay, all right. I got a lot more to ask you both. We'll be right back with more from Josh and Andrew. Welcome back. We're here with Josh Gad and Andrew Rannells. There was a chance that Magical Mormon Mystery Week wasn't going to happen because there was a fire at the theater.
Yes,
like a
there
real
Andrew
deal
regrets setting it. He felt like it was.
Oh, so
funny at
Andrew
the
was having
time.
cold feet about returning to the show.
My lawyers have asked me to not speak about this at this time. No, Josh, there was an actual fire at the Eugene O'Neill.
Yeah.
But luckily, it was very contained.
Yeah.
And the repairs were able to be completed in time for us to do this.
Can I just
So-
shout out New York Fire Department? Like the incredible.
Yeah.
Because we were all texting, we were like, well, I guess that's not happening.
the end.
Yeah.
And then they literally salvaged it within minutes, and the lighting booth itself was destroyed, but
But who needs lights in the
you don't
theater?
need lights. You just need to have a presence that lights up the stage, Andrew. So
Exactly.
I love when we're here for you guys having breakthroughs.
Right?
I love when it happens in real
Andrew and I
time.
are always having
We
breakthroughs.
usually save it for our.
Oh, you're always having
breakthroughs.
breakthroughs that other people have been had years ago.
Yes,
basically.
Yes.
Yeah. Basically.
It's about connection,
We're pretty obvious.
chemistry.
If you haven't noticed.
You have children. Both of you have 2 children.
Not
Who
together.
yeah.
No.
Well, wouldn't that be
Wouldn't
a
that
story
be great?
though?
We can. I mean, that could be a.
you wanna try?
Well, it could be like a reality series. That could be.
Yeah.
Really
I like
fun.
that got an awe.
But it was a real borderline awe that I couldn't
Yeah.
tell if it was like
It was
aw
sort of
sweet
like
or
that,
aw
sweet, but also
no.
upsetting.
Yeah. They were really
Yeah.
they were
We
reacting.
could be good co-parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get a baby.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
You just
Yeah, what's with your audience?
I don't know, they're all over the place. Like it was because I'll be honest, like from
Okay.
my seat, it was getting worse. You were getting really glib about it. It was like, let's get a baby. And
I know, that's what I thought.
That's when
Then
they
they're
should
like,
have
yeah,
they
and they
should have turned
turned,
on
yeah.
you, and
No.
instead they were like, yes.
Yes.
Now we like this idea.
Yeah.
You guys, but now kids who can actually come and see this show that you did before you had children.
Kids who didn't exist when we were doing the show.
And
That's
Well,
right.
Actually, your daughter was.
My
born
daughter
while
was
we-
just born,
Yeah.
3 months before I started the show.
But again, this is this show's was again this 15-year anniversary. So now basic math. These are this is a teenager. You
She's
guys,
15.
Yeah, and so
Wow.
how is a teenager excited about finally seeing her dad do this?
They were such ass last night. Like,
Oh, they went. Oh,
no,
well, they wear the Tonys.
watched.
Okay.
They
didn't
didn't
care?
call me.
Mine
I
didn't
had to
either.
go. What the hell?
No, not
I
even a
had to
text.
call. I had to call them to get the feedback.
Yeah.
And I was
At
like,
which point you've already lost.
Yes.
Yes, it doesn't matter.
So I called them and they go, it was a hey. I was like, hey. I just did the Tonys. They're like, oh, we watched. And I was like, did I do good? Yes.
Wow.
All right, love
gotta
you guys.
sting.
Good night. Like, what?
That's got to sting.
That stings.
That stings.
awful.
I didn't get anything. I didn't
Okay.
get a single
But
text.
this
But they
is-
are coming to see the show.
Great. Now
So that will
you're doing
be-
it for a week. When do they come?
They're coming on the weekend.
Okay, so
Oh,
they're-
yours are coming on the weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mine are coming Wednesday through Friday.
Oh, they're going to come to multiple shows.
Oh, that's
Yes.
real
Okay.
commitment.
They're coming
really-
in multiple shows so that they can see how I grow with the role. I don't-
Yes. Yeah. See if you find some.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
new things.
It would be nice. Probably by Friday they'll be
They'll
like they're
compliment
like
one of the 4
Yeah.
shows they see.
They're like it's only a shame it's 1 week, Dad, because you are getting better.
If you could just have
You are getting
one
better. If you
more
could just
week.
have one more week, you can see there it's there. I don't know if it's gonna get there, but you can see it's there. I told you both this was one of the shows. The most amazing thing about this show is I did not see it in that first wave when it opened 15 years
Right.
ago, and I worried that because you heard so many things about how great it was, it couldn't possibly be that good. And it immediately, when I was in the audience, the minute it starts, I'm like, oh, it's that good.
that's
And
nice.
you must have had that thing where you realize it's a hit, and one of the ways you realize it's a hit is who starts coming to the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're young actors, you're aware that you're in a hit. What was it like? Who were the people that came?
Well, you start noticing people. It's a pretty small theater, so
Yeah.
we could see pretty far into the audience, and they would also tell us ahead of time if we wanted to know, like what kind of celebrities.
There was always like a list of like 20 people a night. It was wild.
So then Josh and I have a moment in the first act where Rory O'Malley is doing this really great number called Turn It Off, but Josh and I aren't singing and our microphones are off. And we would take that opportunity as professional actors to look into the audience for celebrities. And oftentimes look directly at them and create like a connection between them. I remember looking at several people.
Yes. Yeah.
Tina Fey, staring down Tina Fey.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your chance.
Not cool to do that, but yeah.
Leonardo
Leo.
DiCaprio.
Great.
Yes. he
The
was
actor?
there. The actor.
The actor.
The actor. But then they would come backstage, and which was very exciting, but we would sometimes have to do, it was like a little
Overlap.
bit of like a mini People's Choice to like, who are you going to talk to first? So like one night I remember there was Bernadette Peters, who was like, I would do
Yeah.
anything for Bernadette Peters, but also Sean Penn was there. And so I was like, what do I do? And I was like, obviously you're gay, you're going to talk to Bernadette Peters.
Yeah.
So I went to
And
Bernadette
obviously I went to
Peters.
Sean Penn.
I went to Bernadette Peters, and she very sweetly said, "Why are you talking to me? Sean Penn is behind me." Like, go to
Yeah.
dummy.
But I don't know. I think like it's Broadway. I think you picked Bernadette. Here's
You got
here's
it.
a great Bernadette.
What
Peter.
great lighting, yeah, but that's.
I mean, look
there
at
it
this.
is.
Oprah.
Oh, Oprah.
Yes,
Robin,
Robin
yes.
I mean, it's incredible.
It's a nice.
It's incredible, yeah.
You guys, it's just an honor to see you both.
Well, it's very
and
nice to
I
see
can't
you.
believe you're
I
back
love
on Broadway.
you.
We love
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for having
I
us.
tell you something. I've always liked you more than Andrew did.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why he got to sit closer to you today. But I don't resent it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back no matter
I'm
what.
going to tell you, it wasn't my choice, and heads are going to roll.
Wow.
Okay, good. So one part
I'm
I
right
don't wanna
here.
cut out tonight.
Yeah, that's the problem. Josh Gad and Andrew Randall, everything. The Book of Mormon, Magical Mormon Mystery Week, Resolution 14 at the Eugene Armdale Theater. We'll be right back with Hannah Verna.